Good morning. Oh, yes, bedhead. Uh, this is Dr. Mia Luth, and it is 8:39 a.m. Star date 11/2/2022. I pretty much have no choice, but forget it. I pretty much have no choice. Like, let's try to just verbally get this stuff down. Doing this way also helps me if I forget I can review. So Um, but totally was not. I'm still trying to change direction here a little bit because anyway. So I don't feel physically threatened by any form of life that's visible and touchable. People get it? So that's not an issue. Um, but that light may be burnt out. So right now it's just there. But it hasn't come back on. It could be that the lights were burning out, but that is an issue considering the kind of light that is. So, but there it is, and um, I do have a safe step stool, and but I have to take prescription like um, vertigo medication or whatever. Do that, but I'm gonna do that today and take that light thing and check that. Um, but it's just being recorded. But I am still trying to, I guess, put it in very simple, plain terms. Okay, that certain types of energetic activity is particularly harmful to me. And there's messages in it. Okay, but the reason that, like, it's people who were following my Twitter, people who looked at my blog, some of the things that, yes, I just stopped using the internet. Like, yeah. Well, the reason that happened was because the documentary called Dybbuk Box, okay, which I didn't know anything about. The stuff that was happening to him was happening to me. And I can discern really, really well. So, and I could tell I was getting a little bit of help, but there was this, like, every so often, this, like, ridiculously, yes, some kind of something that was causing me, like, serious pain. But that was happening, yes, before, like, I got to this portion of the Parkinsonism ride or whatever. So there were noticeable things, like, yes, like, and holding things sometimes is not, but also that could have been considered cataplexy if you're looking at it from just a sleep disorder kind of thing. So discerning these things is understandably difficult. So people need to understand I didn't just wake up and say, I must have Parkinson's. You know what I'm saying? Right? But my only thing that was making me anxious was, well, if that is the case, I wanted to be sure that at least I wasn't taking any medications that was exacerbating it. Right? So I know my tolerance for gabapentin is low. And, there's some things that I know. And so there's enough medical information. I mean, like, what am I going to do about it? What I'm saying. Right? But that's another reason why also this like helps, because I can go back and check to see like where I might sometimes slur speech. If I can see it physically, I can. Yeah, it's so I can at least try to enunciate the best I can, so I can be clearly understood, and also, so some things I'm expecting, and some things are better. Like what the hell am I gonna do? Parkinson's. All right. It's a good thing though that the people that I've been paying attention to regarding that are people who share their stories and have like, yes, they also show how their face moves, and talk about like things that, right. So in my case, somebody's going to be talking about tremor, right? It was all on my left side, and it just feels like it's always vibrating, but it doesn't feel like it on the outside. And it's right, it's like not blood sugar. I mean, you know what I mean? I can't keep getting tested for shit. And this, well, I figured out what to do, but you know, I woke up a little earlier and I wasn't thinking, and I fixed my coffee and I put creamer in it, so I just blew my fasting labs, and so I gotta try again tomorrow. But I put a big sign on my little coffee thing right at like before I go to bed. Don't touch this. Put on your shoes and walk to the lab. Yeah, like, I'll get there. But now I have to, if I go outside walking, I just now have to get in the habit of just taking a magazine just in case. But so, yeah, so of course, you gotta be dopamine aware as well. So, but regardless, you know, that's definitely, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, people, like, so many things have been ruled out. Like, oh, there's records of it around. But I think at the very least, there's so many people who are still living with it, and there's like ways to like help yourself in the situation to try to figure out, you know, good, safe ways to get exercise. And I just started maybe about 5 months ago or so. No, it was probably closer to what months is it? Somewhere around February or so. Just, when something starts like, it's not like anybody. Yeah, this is internal muscle. I know it is, and it's like little misfires. Like, but we hear the gearheads. You know what I'm saying? It's like the gaps in my. Yeah, I need spark plug gaps. I got bad timing in my spark plugs. Exactly. So it's not all working great. But I've just learned, like, okay, just let it freaking happen. So it's not, you're not fighting against it. Because then you do get extra stiff and sore. See what I mean? So that one, like, I forget it. I'm just gonna, yeah, like, whatever. I'm just gonna shake, rattle, and roll. But I'm definitely a sloppy eater. Yeah. I'm like, well, you can dress me up, but it's better you don't take me out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but like the thing is that I kind of had some leeway to kind of figure this was coming. So, like, at least I'm like, I know there's specialists, and so with the stress trying to get a ride, I can't handle any of that shit. Exactly. Yeah, like, no, that's not gonna happen. And yes, I've had some leeway about not driving too, but that part. Exactly. That's okay though, because occasionally, right, I can get in the passenger seat and strap in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all right that way too. I will say there's a lot of things computer simulations are good for, but a lot of computer simulations hurt my eyes. So yeah, I don't. There's some things I just don't do or look at because I know. But yes, I am currently reducing stimulus like nobody's business, and people can believe what they want, but they're going to need to do some research before they really start trying to give me any advice. Okay. I'm just truthful about certain things, and I really do. Just prayers for Elton Maryland. Okay. Now, there are people who know that certain things are not completely closed off as possibilities. So those people may find interest, but in paranormal circles or anomalous circles, but just so they know who I am too. Just yeah. So what I'm saying is, people who are at home and you want to do something neat, um, and you have internet and you want to try something new, if you look up the Center for Noetic Sciences, they usually have something. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do it like from your house or your bed or wherever. But it's something different. Like they'll have like days where everybody's concentrating on. I don't know. You got to go check. I haven't looked at the right. You know, but I can't participate in almost. There's almost yes 0% things I can actually participate in. It's just yeah, something's going on, and it is something that I know for sure that there's enough field experience, paranormal investigators is what I'm saying, who likely would be a little more interested in understanding about what I'm saying. And so for me, it is urgent but it is because of that. Okay. It's the reason I had to go to psychiatrists and doctors and all. A lot of things were ruled out, people, but like there were some things I wasn't going to be talking about to anyone really, until some things got ruled out. And so I know those things have been ruled out. But guaranteed, activity around me is going to start ramping up. So to say that people can't get hurt, but what if you're getting an empathetic vision from somebody who's being tortured? Everybody's so goddamn sure of everything that they will beat and bully people down and actually kill them to find out that they are wrong. And that's not the way it's going to happen for me. So I'm closing down any kind of, as much as I can. Because just safety. But the reason why I had to, why my life just stopped. And I started doing, because all that in that documentary is very familiar to me. Because that's what I was doing. Right? Some of it, like, okay, fine. But, some of it, okay, I can handle some empathetic shit, people. Something's still living, and that's why I'm purposely, everything goes through directly through Christ, and it all gets checked. Get it? Males, you're supposed to rely on him for understanding in all things. But I am scientific minded enough to be saying that, well, there's tons of possibilities earthly alone, right? So I can assure everyone, like, there are some things that I am saying. There is something that is in the Nagamati libraries. There's about mentions a large flash of light and a crack, just like that. Oh, right. It's in there. Regardless, most of it reads extraordinarily hopeful. Just like every so often, it seems like something else wants to speak through me. And here's something that I don't ever do on purpose: channel. Okay. And I'm not just anyone's usable medium either, right? Nope. Don't do any of that. So, right. But anyone who's trying to experiment on me specifically needs to stop right the hell now. And I'm closing like everything down I can possibly think to close down. Like, yes, but I've blessed all the corners of this place, and sage is no good. Agitates the situation, and so yep. But that is part of it. So, like, sometimes I will let it happen, You understand? Because, anyway, it doesn't matter. So, there are times when, yes, I am looking in horrible pain. Okay. Or I'm feeling either communication or an empathetic situation. And so that's why I'm saying, like, there's no, that's not some of it's not causing me any physical issue. It's just like, it literally feels like sometimes the perception, you understand? Okay. Yep. Like something's trying to poke out of my back. Okay. And I feel it's not there now. I mentioned it before. The vibration feeling, it felt like, I don't know. It might feel like what some kind of laser. I don't know. But I know it goes straight through me. I can feel it all the way through. But it's not there now. Comes and goes. But now I know I have to pay more attention to all this crap. And I don't have time to write all this crap down. And sometimes it feels like, quite literally feels like, my life is being pulled right out of me. All right, and hell if I know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of it positive and hopeful, and angel signs are very easy for me in particular to see. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe not everybody, but right. So, but I know it's coming. But that is why I had to go. Yes, that's why. Very abruptly, I stopped using Twitter. Very abruptly, I stopped using the internet. Right? Yep. And there were things that, like, I'm trying like hell to, yes, right? So, any energetic connection that can be avoided, I suggest that right now. So, I'm trying to just reduce as much stimulus as I possibly can. But I hear something that it may help some people understand me and where I come from. Sometimes a little better. It's very true that I was one of those kind of this stuff coming out of me is good news. Because this stuff's been in me long COVID style for a while. So so I'm glad that's happening. Yep. The long COVID was hanging on me like, mm-hmm. But that's now finally starting to clear up. So that's good too. But I was one of those third graders who, you know, one of my book reports was on, how it, um, Bela Lugosi, his morphine addiction. I love the vamps. Every freaking kind. But that's sad though. You understand? So I've known that kind of sadness since I was a small child. You understand? So in some ways it does come with territory. The problem is somebody somewhere somehow is pushing more and more, and it isn't eh, to say that it's not causing harm. Okay, well then you need proof that it is. So that I understand too. Okay. But my list of things to do is now like it's probably gonna be like 3 things daily. And so I'm clearing things out. But the reason I'm also doing that is, like I'm do give a crap about every kind of hygiene if I can manage. Okay. But you know, people need to understand. I've been paying more attention to people who share their stories about, right, like Parkinsonisms, and so the real life people. Yeah, I kind of look like some of them. You know what I'm saying? So at least I know that there's information like what I can expect, and right, it's not like a self fulfilling prophecy. I mean, there's some people that just aren't as mind powerful as they might think, and they're the ones who cause the most harm. But I've been interested in anomalous Earth based things for a long time. And I'm the kind of scientist who does actually really appreciate the merits of longitudinal study. But sometimes it's like mission critical to just say it that way. To like, all right, well, this one can't be like sitting around waiting. Okay. So I went through all kinds of therapy and medical stuff, and we were, you understand, because of what was in that documentary was happening to me back in like 2012, and I was being harmed. That is a true statement. But trying to explain that and get my head around it, you know what I'm saying? Right. But there's a place in the 21084 zip code I just absolutely refuse to go. Like, I'm doing everything I can to build a wall in my mind so that I can't even like remember it. Yep. And so, like, for me personally, it's like somebody just needs to freaking just a satellite needs to fall on it, or an F1, and then people need to encase it with cement and put like in every language and every kind of like sound, and like just run away from this place. And I know that there are people on Earth who know exactly what that feels like. There is one. But here's the thing: is like you people can't handle trauma. Like I can handle trauma. And if I'm having problems, then it is an SOS across the anomalous researcher board and the paranormal investigators who do it like all the time. And right, they've seen, done, and heard things. And there's some things that, right, like just don't get said online, and right, and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not trying to get in everybody's personal business, but I know the activity is ramping up. And all I can do when it comes to the abnormal part of this, understand, is say that there's just there's no scientific or medical reasoning why I would have webbing, flesh webbing, appearing and growing around here. I mean, so even just medical science, that's a little different. Okay. But I have to consider other things because That's actually being a good scientist. So, yeah, I have a pain management appointment. So anyone who wants to yell at me for being a good scientist is like, well, I don't know, go yell at a tree or just go yell at a specialized counselor. It's like, just, right? You know what I'm saying? Jeez. Yeah, it's like, well, some seem very angry for every which way kind of wrong reason because they don't get proper information. So I'm not touching that. So I'm putting up crazy walls. And I'm shutting down as quickly as I possibly can. And it's got nothing to do with personality types. People got to get above it and beyond it. Okay. But when assessing a human, personality type should at least be checked because I can assure you, longitudinally, they likely change based on certain events in life. So I appreciate anybody who's prayed and, like, but I am also demonstrating coping skills. Okay. So I am demonstrating coping skills because I freaking need them. One of them is, yep, like just cleaning, keeping myself physically busy cleaning. Okay. It's also good, like physical therapy too. But it helps the mind. Okay. As well. So that's a coping mechanism that I'm using. Okay. Um, I do have a regular therapy session, um, but I usually just handle more everyday things with that therapist. Although I've been asking for a male therapist for several years, that people seem to, oh, slip my mind, or oh, I forgot, or oh, we don't have one, or oh, and that's another thing I need help with. Apparently, this is way too difficult, our requests, and I disagree. And, like, for therapy, for me, I need to talk to a dude. Okay. And it's not, yes, because some females just, I'm more down to business when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I've been asking for that for years. I'm sure I even put it in writing at some point, but I'm not going to. Okay. That's another thing keeps getting ignored. I'm a sick client, patient who has already been through too much shit in life. And, you know, other people, no wonder they're dropping dead. Not for any specific, like, divine providence, though. Which is why I'm asking at least US, legal US citizens, you know, I know that a lot of changes have happened really quickly. And, I can say I don't give a crap how many people yell at the United States Post Office about anything. Okay, I've seen these people walking through 105-degree heat, doing everything they can to be patient and as friendly as they can, and to, pick up the pace. People are still getting sick. People are still dying. Don't push the pace. That is the point. Is that all things possible with Christ? Now, here's something that I want everybody to understand. I can be, all light in, but I can also go all dark. Okay, it's just when that happens, then I need some supports that must work without fail for me. Okay, so sometimes in a sensitive way, and so my reaction to it when I'm open like that is disconcerting and alarming. I mean, the Parkinson's, yes. Like, at this point, it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, like, I try to tell my hand, like, excuse me, you will comply. Yeah, but it just doesn't fucking listen. Yeah. So I'm just trying to, at least, like, yeah, for medical stuff, like, this is, I know it's a neurological movement disorder. But there's some other things that are a little more, like, holy church based. And so some of that, okay. But like I said, I keep getting something that is living at the time. When I'm sensing it, I make sure I'm not looking in the past, I'm not looking in the future. You understand? So I know that I'm dealing with something that's living right now. I mean, that's how I discern. You see what I mean? So I've been trying to discern so that, you know, but getting proper sleep, the one thing I can say about that, I probably will discuss later because I am trying to kind of keep a little bit of an hour by hour schedule. Um, but I don't know, I lost train of thought. But here's the other thing. Like, I'm definitely not one who's, into psychoactive experiences. No, thank you. Right. So even if I were prescribed benzos, like, that would be like straight out. I am having every kind of issue when it comes to, yes, post traumatic stress. Okay. That's an acute situation. So the only reason I would ever want to do that was if that was the case. And that was denied to me. Medication I was prescribed was denied me, knowing myself full well. Do you understand? So I don't suggest benzos for anybody, but I'm also, people are going to have their thoughts about that. But their thoughts may not be based on truth or proper rigorous testing or agreements that, you know, these things are actually helpful to this world. For God so loved the world. Okay. But I am going to say to people, who have tried to look at the Bible, or you've heard rumors about stuff that's in it. Like, sometimes when you read too much too fast, okay, it can start working way too fast for you. And it does cause issues. And it does seem like, holy crap, what are people praising this asshole for? Everybody needs to understand. I understand. I understand. So I would like everyone else who has something else to do, you understand, to not bother anybody who feels like the Bible is like some kind of hell on earth, okay? Or that it's just harmful. You need to please just leave them be. Human perception sometimes, like, if you've been meditating a lot and, like, you know, you, right, well, also anybody who's really sensitive and empathetic like me, I sometimes can absorb some negativity and anger, and just it's not like it's fuel, but it's more like I'm just neutralizing it. You see what I'm saying? But that takes energetic work. And a lot of times, yeah, you know, it may take me, a couple of weeks to get, you know what I'm saying? Right. But, and I've, sat down and kind of like blazed through some scripture. Well, I couldn't really, I was just straight malaise, but isn't entirely medically explainable. I'll put it to you that way. But there are people who do have gifts, okay? And it is true in use. Sometimes they don't understand what the hell's going on. Okay, they're seeing it as a child. You know what I mean? So there's also possibilities that someone in the family is using a gift they don't know anything about. Okay, so it's best for scientists to be involved too, because scientifically speaking, proof of certain things can actually be provided in ways that definitely fit the scientific method. Okay, so that's for scientific people. But for anybody who truly feels like, I don't want to go anywhere near the, like, there's stuff people have told you, you know what I mean? And it's rumor and you haven't seen, that's okay. And some are so used to working in a different way that it takes a little while, okay, to, I've heard people say, I don't want to, something wrong with the Bible. There's something wrong with this book. And I know a few people who, like, they just, it's like, it's a terrible, horrible, awful book. What, I've met people, and I believe their perspective. Because sometimes, when I've been really tired, especially, and I just, reread through it's like too much. You see what I'm saying? And then yeah, oh, ow, oh, wait a minute, conflict. What the hell? Right. And if you're thinking about like a helpless human, though, so I'll talk to the people, or I don't have an issue with anybody who really truly perceives and feels in any way, spiritually or emotionally or energetically, that it's like a harmful book. And some people do want to call it a bad book, and they're very upset, clearly, as human beings. I mean, they're not faking emotions. Okay. So perception and other things can be, yeah. However, what I'll say to them is, well, if anybody's really like, if it's getting too heavy, you're probably not ready to, dive back in. But I will say that specifically for uh, military personnel who have seen and smelled and heard the actuality of anger in the form of weapons and people blowing up and things being awful around them. Okay. Well, they should not be expected to pretty much do much of anything, including go to church for a while after they get home. Okay? And they do need to check people. But because you'll get a beat down. And I'm not going to let that happen to any real life veterans of, real life hate via firearms or whatever. Get it? So don't go to church. Okay? And I'll spare you some. You need different kind of situation. And it's okay you don't. I mean, you can pray to God right where you're sitting. But don't do that. You don't want that kind of beat down either. Trust me. Yes, I've been through it. You're just gonna have to trust a person sometimes. Okay? Right. It's just always gonna need extra time to settle, even if the physical stuff's working right. Okay? But some services are too insensitive and cold. And, there's like extra conflict going on. And so, yeah, maybe just do small little like meetings with some kind of clergy who is not in screaming and yelling. Right. But there are people who also, maybe shouldn't go to a particular because they were raised up thinking something that makes some things really effing scary for them. Okay? But I'm in the United States of America, and there's not a single person walking around here got any freaking way, according to the Constitution, to force any type of belief on me. Which is another reason. Some of you trying to put out there some stuff is like election cycles. No, thank you. Just I'll vote. I have a ride there. Leave me alone. Exactly. Right. This is real life for everyday average American citizen. But this situation became a little more serious. So you bet your ass I'm going to do whatever I can. And then, yep, and I will just keep sending out and eventually help will arrive. But I'm also was expecting some kind of company. But that may change. But priority changed, and so I'm cleaning coping mechanisms. Okay. If you're reading the Bible and things start, it might be because those things are being pulled out of you as well. So don't stress about the Bible, okay? Don't stress it. Right. And the main point I will always just say, just you need to understand that it says John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Every translation I've seen anyway says, for God so loved the world. Lower thy head, man. Because if not, you're not allowed to take all these females down with you. And that at least I can say through Christ to God. Now that would be devastating to this world. So some of you need to take your holier than thou and get humbled by demons or something. Activity will be, that's what I'm saying. For scientific and yes, and well, I mean that, the paranormal specialists do it like all the time, every day. Yeah, well, they hear more on the streets than I do, you know what I'm saying? Right, but I don't have equipment, It was never really my thing, you know what I mean? So there wasn't any need for me. But that's changed. And right, for sleep disorders, like, yep, sleep scientists can look at it and see if they can discern. But then also, right, at least some male Catholics and a few rabbis along the way, right? Because now what I would say would be on the more anomalous, paranormal, otherworldly side is starting to show through when I'm sleeping too. My faith, mine, which none of you seem to really give a shit about, okay, dictates. And I stay this way. Submissive, female. I do not have a husband. So my head is covered by the Holy Lord Jesus Christ. But that means I do not pray in public, in front of anyone. Okay? So what I did a little while ago was very short. And that's all you're going to get of me praying in private tongues. Everybody's so pushy and shovey about their damn faith. But not yet once anybody really giving a shit about me or mine. And it is entirely possible that I am entirely empathetic enough to actually, yes, show some signs perhaps of stigmata. Okay? But I'm not to be tested because that would cause severe harm to others. Now, when you get warnings, please just adhere to them and just walk away from it. And don't give a shit is what I'm trying to say. But there are plenty of researchers, and I know that there are academics, like, yes, but they're not all out, hey, look at me, I'm a rock star! Yeah, the quiet ones, whatever, out there. And I know that in my country, right, there's bound to be, there might be someone even local with equipment. So I can only do what I can do. Okay. I need a more rigid, regular schedule. Okay. And for some reason, right, like if I go outside for too long, okay, it's kind of like, right, it feels like something's trying to pull me back here. Is like the closest description that I can kind of come up with that sort of describes what I'm getting, right. So I don't really go exploring, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I know I just need recovery time. But something isn't really giving a shit about nothing. And it's causing me serious, actual, real harm. And it isn't just Parkinson's, okay? I mean, I'm getting on that. And if I had to, just make the decision, okay, well, there's no way I'm going to be renting a car. I mean, I had a car reserved, but one, certain other things, but two, that's the one thing I know I can't do anything about. Those was out of the blue, sudden drops of. It's not narcolepsy. Okay, it is a very, it is in, it's like a sleep disorder, but it's not full narcolepsy, which is another reason why it has been difficult to get that diagnosis straightened out as well. Okay, and so that makes a little more sense now. Okay, but sudden drops of, yep, blood pressure, not blood sugar. Okay, and that is something that can happen in Parkinson's patients, right? So yes, so it wasn't. Yeah, that was not a narcoleptic. Yep, it was. I, yep, immediate and sudden loss of out of the blue blood pressure. Just, yep. Sometimes I'm just walking around and like, get it? Well, so I can't drive. Fuck. That's how I feel about it. So this is what I'm saying. So also like sensitive clergy and pastors, and yeah, yeah, it's right. So you don't have to. Right. I don't want to be anybody stumbling block because y'all people so freaking mercifully judgy, unmercifully judgy. A lot of people think like they've been put in charge of something, and I'm wondering why. Okay, but I do want some, scientists to understand that. Yes, I did actually do my own PhD kind of research at Towson University, and that was something that I did put in place was some efforts to rule out expectation bias. And that does skew results. And so, scientifically speaking, you know, a lot of these things can be shown and proven. Okay. I mean, I'm in agreement with that in a very scientific way. Okay. But I'm not out trying to hunt down things. Yeah. And, you know, paranormal investigation wise, it's just some kind of like I have some gifts. So usually it's just people I know or like local or, yeah, I don't usually need equipment. Like I sense and feel with this, you know what I mean? Right. So I've gotten more used to what it is I can expect. It's likely Parkinson's. And so I just, yeah, I don't, like, I already ruled that out, you know what I mean? Yep. Um, but I definitely feel some different sensations, and they don't always stay. Like I said, the whatever it feels like some kind of energy particle. Right, I can feel it. It's like, but it's not there now. Okay, and I gotta eat. But I know some people think a lot of books might be scary, or the people in particular. As far as I'm concerned, I don't give a crap if it's a Catholic Bible or a Protestant Bible. Okay. Um, some of it's too much. Some of you go at it, and that's why. Yes. So some of them don't are never told that, and they don't know that, and they will take in too much out of enthusiasm for the Holy Lord Jesus. You see what I'm saying? So, number one, I will hang out with the naked congregation. Okay. Also, I'm a friendly left-handed path. Okay. I can dim myself. Yeah. But that's the thing is, like, I'm okay if I earthbound for. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's not the issue. Okay. But there are other changes in my face that sometimes happen now. I understand. Yep. Menopause. So I'm including that also. Like, I know what that is. I don't. I haven't had any cold spots. There's been nothing similar to certain things, but the reason that I am very much alarmed right now, given this situation, is yeah, the situations in 2012. For me, ramped up so quick that I barely had time to even process it. But at least I caught a hold of something that I recognize as okay. I'm in my Bible. All right, let's do some praying. Blah blah blah. Right. Okay. But what proceeded to happen after that was very, very similar. Okay. But all their stuff I'm not talking about. You understand? I could completely understand. That's a documentary. That's all why they're like, let me tell you, it's got to be the tame version. Because you're getting the tame version from me. But that's why certain things with me started happening. Some of them could be, yep, the Holy Christ, empathy. Some of it, though, is not. There's nothing holy about what I'm picking up. And it's not human. Okay? But it is causing me severe distress in a variety of ways. And I don't channel. I don't, you understand? Okay? I am not schizophrenic. More than one doctor. Verified. So if people want to ask me fucking questions that are already answered here, then I just skip you altogether. Like sometimes it'll feel like my neck is like stretching out. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. That's the perception and feeling I'm getting. Okay. I mean, like I said, when I feel like someone's trying to poke out of my back, that's like, I know it's not there. You see, like, yes, of course. So there isn't that kind of physicality. But I have had some. I'm not going to talk to anybody. There will probably be only like 4 people on earth I will ever want to talk to about it. Ever. Ever. Somebody could hand me like, right, a Stanley Cup winning freaking ice hockey club, free and clear, for free, and I still wouldn't fucking talk about it. Don't try. But that had to have been a tame version, because what you're getting from me, is a very tame version. Now, if some particular individual down in Florida known as Dr. Kelly thinks that he knows all, well, he's wrong. And that is not a professional courtesy when I specifically made a video that says, here's what I've, in a nutshell, and here's the 2 weeks of what I could tell you that I could get on any form of record. Wow. Don't tell me, oh, and then you gotta go see that nothing can hurt you. And I'm like, then you and I need to change places, my friend. And your life will change in a way that you will soon regret. So I disagree with his entire philosophy on anything related to paranormal activity. And he should have, at the very least, looked at the fucking video and processed and not asked me these questions and tell me like he can talk me through some shit he knows nothing about. So obviously, paranormal investigators and other anomalies, I am reaching out for help, and there are people who could seriously see the evidence of it on Twitter and here, and don't think I haven't gone through every kind of medical freaking situation. Very painful, by the way, to rule out all of that. NHL bench coach, NHL bench coach, NHL bench coach to you. Okay. So any mind manipulators or any, right, I know there's a lot of people do a lot of like our mind, we are wonderfully and fearfully made. But I specifically want to address those who, you know, feel like they've been hurt by words in the Bible, in the Holy Bible. Okay? And I'm not gonna throw them at you. I don't even need to use them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people are so hurt that the darkness becomes absolutely right the end, and they can't get out of it. And it's not fair. It's not fair that they were born outside of safety. And there is such a thing as mercy. Right. Well, it didn't say that. Okay. Jesus, Yesu, okay? Jesus, okay? Scripture does not say that he killed death, okay? It says he defeated death. I believe in mercy because there are things occurring to human beings that only a non-human could possibly be doing. So angelically speaking, I do get angel sign a lot. I mean, I'm used to it. You know what I mean? Some people are like they're trying to figure it out, like in the freaking psychology world. I'm like, it's already figured out, right? Okay. So the DSM is very hurtful. It is short-sighted. It is not based on, large sums of individuals who are spiritual. So I do not follow it, but I do understand why it's there. You understand? But it's nothing that I put much merit or stock in. Right? Because it hurts people. That's the bad book. Okay? I am being honest. Look, genuine. See, those who feel like the Holy Bible is bad or hurtful to you. Okay? It is kind of like a perception. And there are ways to like see it so that the way that is healthy and good too. You understand? But sometimes trying too hard is what's causing some situations. So don't try. Okay. But I'm not going to push anybody on that kind of stuff because it can seem that way. Okay. So maybe this is not for you right now. Don't worry. Like, I'm not going to yell at you. And some other people should not yell at you. About that kind of thing. But I can honestly say that it does, in like short terms with little tiny snippets. It does say, "For God so loved the world." All right. So He keeps the plants and animals and all the things alive and takes care of all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many different kinds of people and animals and plants and things in this world that a lot of people have seen, or you know what I mean? But I'm not. The word religion, minus what names and thoughts and spirits that all so many like to put on that, does actually, in just this innocuous single word sense, something you do every day, basically. Okay? So people can religiously do lots of things. So I guess daily I religiously love Jesus. You see what I'm saying? Um, But those who had only been told things, okay, and by rumor, or who were kept from certain information, or who are fearful because you have been told that God puts humans in hell. Okay, well, that is not true. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry about it. That's falsehood. It's not true. God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten son. Okay, just shortly right at that. Okay, he did not come to condemn. Okay, condemn means, put down, put under, destroy, put. Okay, that's not at all his thinking on human beings. You understand? For all human beings to be free from that which belongs in containment. Okay, everybody? So I understand why some people, right, say that about the Bible. It's a bad book. Well, just understand that it's probably not as bad, but it's a hint cautiously. You understand? And the terminologies can be conflictual, and some are permitted, but they're called something else, but some are not permitted. And you see what I'm saying? Okay. So there are certain things is like I get it. And if some accidentally let the darkness in, it'll start to, yeah, creep, and it's not good. But so I have spiritual gifts, is what I'm saying. Um, and like I said, I think there is a situation that I can't really get a handle on, like research or investigation, what any of that. Look, right there, I should not, like, whatever's happening. My mind can't sleep. I don't. I don't. I don't. Right. It's not. I'm not gonna overdose on meds. People pay attention to my blog and my life, and actually, yes, constructing all of this very clearly so it can be easily discerned from many different perspectives. So you don't want to even take the time to look at a 20-minute video. Get the fuck out of here. Unprofessional. Okay? Right. So I've explained why I'm homebound. But there is another energetic factor that is causing me issue. It's the sun is I'm far more sensitive to the sun than I was before. And it's not because of any changes in meds. Okay. That I checked. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, of course, I checked that first, everybody. Okay. You're going to have to trust me as a freaking intelligent scientist or go away. But something about that too. My eyes and my skin, and like very quickly becoming more and more right sensitive to the outside sun. I don't know what that's about either, but that is the case. So medically speaking, the medications haven't changed. And there aren't any of the medications I'm taking that would do that. But that is something that has also ramped up in the last like 2-3 weeks. So I'm giving updates because I know how a paranormal investigation gets run. So I can catch someone up who, maybe at some point near soon, very soon, does have a little time, and right, the kind of questions you would ask, how paranormal investigators, so I can at least get it ahead of time. They know what I'm saying, right? So, but the reason that I did not have a psychotic break. That was not it at all. And the humor of the situation, right, is some of it caused actual real death to quite a few human beings who I was helping, and they were innocent. So innocents have shed blood. That'll be enough of that. One sacrifice, and it's already been made. So all the rest of it is prepaid. Okay? It's not okay to push the limits right now. Everybody stop pushing the limits. Like, I don't care who you are. The limits are not to be pushed. Danger in many areas that cannot be contained, and I am not sure what it is, but it is attacking human females. Do you understand? There's evidence of it around me. Okay? And maybe that's because no one was listening to my warnings because you thought I was 20. Or, hey, you want to put your dick in me somehow. Hey, sometimes I'm not averse to that. Just the way you assholes go about it sometimes. Just every which way kind of wrong. Okay? Okay. All right. Also, I'm actually, yes, more for people who are used to doing, like, yes, in the field, right. I, in some specialties, it's just no, and I don't really want people getting too close because there are physical, spiritual, something kind of attacks going on that cause actual real damage, and I need help understanding. Okay, because I'm saying that in 2012 there's some things, and like I said, there may be like 4 people on Earth I might actually talk to about this. You understand? But the reason that this is happening here this way is, yes, I mean, I was doing some strange, I do strange things sometimes, right? But going out and looking at the sky at night is not a strange thing. But I was noticing things that couldn't be man made satellites. And they weren't in any kind of. Hello? Hi, good, how are you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It- well, it's only like right around the corner. So, like 10 of. If. Okay, yeah, and I'll be out front. Okay. Well, it kind of depends, but I mean, it's just I can never really tell. But I don't do shots or other treatments anymore, so usually in the morning, it might be a half hour, but probably less than an hour. Like I could be in and out, but it's really hard to tell. Is this your cell number? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, I get it. Just it's yeah, I know you wouldn't be picking up, but okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure I had your right number. So okay, all right, all right. Bye. See, this is what I'm a little worried about. Okay, like if I forget that I have a live camera on me, but yeah, I'm getting a new caseworker. The only thing the caseworker does for me in this situation does help me with some appointments, but that is how I get basic transportation to like grocery stores, and I have a doctor's appointment so tomorrow morning, and I now know I have a ride, and I've been reminded of it. But I do actually have like a newer system. It's more in your face. So I, I'm like putting on my shoes to go out to a doctor's appointment. 30 minutes later, yeah, I'm like, what the hell was I putting my shoes on? I am concerned, though. You understand? That's why I don't have a firearm in my house. I'll say that right out loud. It is not necessarily because I want to get into any kind of situation where somebody's mentioned the Second Amendment. I'm a fight man, but everybody needs to consider how easy it is to commit suicide with one of those damn things, including the NRA and the radicals who never listen to anybody. Jeez. Okay, but I am perfectly comfortable around them. It's just, yep. Unfortunately, there is maybe some projection. Maybe there is something I'm not missing. Keep trying to be that I need to kill myself. You understand? And then we'll start trying to push me into like depths of right, like sadness and other kind of stuff that I can't. I can't handle that alone. Get it? But if I had help the last time, I would not have had to go through any of that. All right. Well, this is what I'm saying to just investigators and others. Is yeah. So the basic situation is very similar activity to that. It started happening to me, and I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't invest. I mean, well, I'm not even. It's like a side gig. See what I'm saying? Right. Just usually just friends are around here, or somebody will have me check something, and I don't usually have equipment myself because it's like I'm the equipment. You know what I mean? But when I'm open and this sensitive and there's something like this, then people around me need to understand, please get used to it. But, right. If I grab something like, especially my heart, I'll say it again. It's not my heart. Okay. I will say it's my heart. And then sometimes if there is like something communicated or there's an empathetic something going on, no, I quite literally feel it as though it is happening to me. It might be, but empathetically speaking, I feel it as though I am that being, you understand? So, oh yeah, it's called pain and harm, everyone. Now, I did not touch a freaking anything. So I need some help because some of the things that happened to me definitely happened to me for real. But that's my issue. So that's why I started doing some weird thing, and that's why I've had to talk to the therapist and check meds. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going through it again. So I need like calm, simple, adult, rational understanding that quite literally, one, I can't trust myself with the firearm. Okay. But I'm doing like right. That's the only one thing that it's too quick. Get it? Uh, but I'm having there's way too much for me to track, and so finding ways for me to get proper rest, like the whole thing, including my brain and mind, everything, it has been my goal for quite a few years. So I've cleared out some things, so I know they're good. Activity will ramp up here soon. And I'm saying that what I've noticed in the last month, okay, like there was a woman maybe 2 weeks ago just standing outside sidewalk staring up at my window for like 2 hours, and I didn't know I needed to record her. Yeah, because yeah, like I happened to notice. I thought she was one of the elderly occupants of certain, yes, nearby, who had been drinking or smoking pot or having I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some crazy old ladies around here. Yeah, they partying up, they sexing up. It's true story. For real, true story. But that was the point. It was like that one. Yeah, I had no idea. You understand? Right. That I would need to kind of get a picture or record. That's also a little disconcerting. But like little things I'm noticing, understand? That's a problem for me. But that is something else that happened that I didn't like. Now, you understand? I'm doing what I can, but I don't want to. I can't work this case by myself. And nobody's going to tell me that some shit, weird shit, has not been happening on Earth. You can bugger off. You understand? And I'm not seeing crap. And I'm not on psychoactives. And here, doctor people, medical people, FDA, anyway. For me personally, okay, what I've discovered is that, like, when it comes to the Delta 8, I accidentally tried it. Like, she told me it was all CBD, but then I realized, yeah, a little bit. That's perfect for me. Okay, the vape, okay, is better than a bowl. Cleaner burning. But when yes, I was good to go. Like, I took a couple puffs and I went like 6 hours, didn't even think about it. But I think it was the CBD that helped with inflammation so I can move a little more and stretch a little more, which is hard to do. sometimes for some of us get all in fully extended, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that part. But for sleep science, though, it's kind of like a little teeny weeny, tiny little high, right? Yeah, so probably some people wouldn't even notice, you know what I mean? Before, like for sleeping specifically, it it kind of like it's there, and then you're a little more relaxed, and yeah, and then you're more relaxed, and so that little tiny come down, I think, is what's been helping me fall asleep right away without staying awake for hours on end. So, for just medical situation or any, I do not really want to be like smoking it, um, and trying to run through. Like, I can't afford to like just go get like various versions of CBD or anything, but it just so happened that I accidentally tried a Delta 8 vape. Um, and now that's been helpful, but maybe not so much for like certain kinds of pain, right? But maybe helping with circadian rhythm. But I mean, so you have to use it like a medication, is what I'm trying to say, right? Like for me, like just a little bit in the morning. I will say the vape is much better than you know paper or uh, it is cleaner burning than all the other alternatives. Okay, and none of that made me cough. So um, I am very concerned, however, though, that overuse and those who hey, too much THC can definitely cause you know too much serotonin. Then if too much serotonin, then other neurochemicals will start to react, and so from sort of like a mental health chemical neuro, right, I am not an advocate of like super dope weed without complete and total 100, and that would have to be like an experiment, and I don't have any, but yeah, 100% like daily check-in kind of shit, because I think that serotonin then can also lead to some sleep issues. This all needs to be checked, but I checked the certain kind of research, and I know enough about neurochemicals, so that's where I draw the line on the big 420, because some of it is can give you cancer, emphysema, okay, and some people are too sensitive, so it should be tried in a more safe environment instead of just, hey, I bought this bag of stuff, or hey, this guy gave me this stuff, and I'm gonna, and you smoke it all, and then you end up like in a loony bin, not having any freaking clue because all your neurochemicals went nuts. Okay, so it's not exactly ideal having like zero regulation. You understand? I do prefer not to smoke it, unlike for others not to smoke it. But the vape does actually, it is smoother and is less harsh than other ways to smoke marijuana. But there may be some use for it for Parkinson's. But what you can say about that part is Like, yeah, I accidentally did, but that's what I thought. I was thinking to myself, I don't know that much about this. You know what I'm saying? So one of my neighbors was, she had, some, she said CBD, and she, I, she said CBD. I don't know. So I just, yep, okay, cool. But then I looked up the LTA and realized there was a small, but it's legal in Maryland. Like, I'm not worried so much about the legalities as I am about cost. And, I don't really want to experiment. I'm not doing an experiment. I'm good to go with Delta 8. And I don't want to try anything else. Like, from a medical patient perspective. I don't like getting high. I hate it. I quite literally don't use the word hate, but I hate getting high. I have for a very long time. So the CBD, on the other hand, though, may help with some circadian rhythm. Uh, it is likely the reason that I can get some, like, actual real stretches of real sleep kind of thing, where I'm actually resting everything. Um, so that's how I feel about the whole marijuana thing. Um, just medically, but I tried to order one online and that never came. So, having, it's like, yeah, like 62, yeah, like the disposable one. I don't have that kind of money. Right. So, just medically speaking. But yeah, that's the other thing is, like, CBD would not interrupt any kind of spiritual gifts, also, for me. So, but I think that mostly it just kind of makes me a little more less inflamed, and so I can actually, like, do this like a real stretch. So what is likely Parkinson's? I'm pretty certain, discerning of that. But yep, I'm 100% sure there's activity here, and I'm 100% sure it is affecting others in this building at this point, and it may be affecting electronic devices, not just in my apartment. Um, you understand? And that's what started happening before I get put through some kind of hell, of which I probably won't speak much of. Dr. fucking Kelly. Well, Florida's out for me. I mean, yeah, sorry. Oh, I love the Florida. Like, pretty much to this juncture, it's like, oh, I'm pretty sure this might just be the place I die. I've been wanting to settle down and get married for a very long time. But males, on the other hand, and other people, no, that's not. So I gotta live my faith, right, without a husband, which was promised to me. So nobody's gonna get to see me pray like that again. That's it. That's all you get. Um, but I have spiritual gifts, and there are some things that I'm absolutely positive are okay, and some things I'm expecting, and some things would happen. But that is that documentary, okay, is just an example of some of the things that were happening to me. And I can tell you, there was harm to me. And I don't want it to happen again or anyone else. And since those things are ramping, starting to happen again around me, I want some freaking help. Of people who kind of get a little more of what I'm trying to say. It is. It's gonna ramp up here. So jump on the fucking bandwagon, will ya? I can't be in here in this like space alone without another person, just in general, anyway. But I'm pretty sure there's ways to record this stuff. And I say pretty sure. I'm sure. I just don't have any of that equipment. And especially when I'm sleeping. But that's the other thing is I am a little concerned. You understand? Like I answer the phone, forget the freaking. You see what I'm saying? Like if it's my personal business, I don't mind. Mm. So I get it. It's freaking. I'm get used to walking. And sometimes this phone's very glitchy. It's been glitchy, but I'm glad that I have it. So I'm getting a little better this morning because, yeah, I mean, I did get a nice shower, and now I know I gotta put the sign on the coffee. I'll wake up first thing in the morning, coffee. No coffee. Okay, walk to the labs. I'm going. There it is. What I was talking about before. It feels like something right here is very different. Like something's shooting through me, straight through. I can feel it, sense vibration, no heat, but it's definitely, and it goes all the way out the back. It comes and that comes and goes, but then I'm used to certain electronic interference, and sometimes it's not that surprising, and it doesn't bother me or affect me. But I'm telling you straight out, this shit gets too much for me. I'm out. Okay, but since people got all kinds of fucking ideas, it's a fucking drill. It's a fucking test. I'm not testing anybody. But it's another thing. It's online. Like people have been told, and they right might actually end up watching me kill myself online if you do not right properly. Fucking help a little woman out. The Elton police can't help me, right? You see what I'm getting at? Well, if someone's coming in here, I'll call, if I see another one, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I didn't even think that I would need to like get any kind of picture anything because I just happened to see it. I thought, but I went, I took a shower and I ate, and I didn't look again. But an hour later, the same woman was out there. Okay, so I tried to grab my camera, got to the window, she was gone. I'm scared. God, I'm scared. Religious people, I'm scared. People who have shitloads of money. I can't be brave anymore. Brave is the wrong way to go. That's when you help. And that's why all these things started happening with my life, because that particular that stuff that was happening to me. For several years, relentlessly, without a break. To the point where, yeah, quite literally, like, I I couldn't even get up off the couch anymore. I did actually just like lay around, not even take a shower. Like, I'd get up and walk into the shower and just be standing there, and then turn around and lay back down on the couch. That's not normal by any stretch, except if you understand higher spiritual concepts. But I'm being honest to any investigator or scientist, understand? Right. So I knew I needed a break anyway. I mean, there was nothing I could do, so I just lit. But unfortunately, okay, me being evicted caused me great harm and loss. But I couldn't even do anything about that either. Okay, so I've done all those things. You understand, right? Therapy. There's some medications that help me. The Cymbalta is not. I will tell people. You understand, that is not meant mostly. I mean, of course, it helps a little mood, but that's mostly meant for other conditions. Okay, so I've never needed an antidepressant, but I've been prescribed quite a few, and I have proof and evidence that I've never needed them. And I certainly didn't need Seroquel. What the hell did I need Seroquel for? Yeah, I don't want to get all stoned and, hey, check out the tracers. I never needed that medication, but yet the ill effect of that medication I had to handle. Why? So, all due respect, people who are dead inside and you like to walk around like the freaking dead eyed, I don't feel anything anymore because it's just too painful and I can't take it. Then I have asked a holy creator out of mercy for me to create another world. Like, you can all go down in your own fucking misery without me. I know why some people say that it's a bad book. I'm not angry at you, and I understand there's perspective, so don't don't let them hurt you. Okay? But I know there's, yes, investigators who will seem like fine or have time or whatever. Because I know that activity is ramping up and it can be caught scientifically. You understand? Right. It's coming, and I need fucking help. And I just need somebody here just to fucking talk to who isn't gonna fucking try, you understand, to sell me something or, make me do another test. Asshole people on earth. Somebody's gonna unasshole themselves and figure this shit out. But everybody, I don't care who you are, once a day,